Hey, what's going on, guys? So Comic-Con San Diego 2014 has concluded, and lots of great stuff to feast on as always, but there was one thing that excited me more than anything, and that is involving Godzilla 2. Now, I was super pumped about all the Avengers stuff and the DC stuff, but we knew we were going to get some footage for Batman vs. Superman. We knew we were going to get something for Age of Ultron, so those things were expected, but for Gareth Edwards to speak on Godzilla 2 and what he released about it, beyond excited. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, so I am super pumped for the sequel, even though we need to wait a little while because Gareth Edwards is doing one of the Star Wars spin-off movies, then he's coming to do Godzilla 2. So we got a couple of years before this film even goes into production, so that's why it was a huge surprise that they even spoke about this. So during the legendary panel, Gareth Edwards was not at the convention, but came in via video and dropped who the three villains were going to be in the movie. And this is really exciting because these are three classic Godzilla villains and three of the most badass people that Godzilla's ever squared off against. And they did not have the rights to these villains initially. They only had the rights to use the character Godzilla. So with the film being a success, they had to have dished out quite a bit of money to have these rights. Now, first and foremost, we're going to get Rodan. And Rodan is a badass. He is basically just a massive pterodactyl type figure, and he's awesome. Now, the Mutu from Godzilla is kind of a mix of Rodan and the Cloverfield monster. So he's a little bit more of a simplified version of the Muto, but he flies and stuff. Super awesome villain. Cannot wait to see updated effects of him in Godzilla 2. Second, we're getting Mothra. Now, everybody knows Mothra, of course, but Mothra, you know, kind of looks a little more dated than the other villains and stuff because Mothra is just a giant moth. And you know, we'll see what they do with that, but you know they're going to kind of probably make it a little bit more modernized, and with today's effects and all that, again, make Mothra really badass looking and a little bit more current for our generation. The third villain, and the one I am most excited about because this is the one that I cannot wait to see in a modern day effects world, is King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah is such a badass and is my favorite Godzilla villain ever. Him and Gigan are my top two, and King Ghidorah is that giant three-headed dragon who just fucks shit up and shoots lightning out of his mouth and all that. He is amazing. Oh man, I'm so pumped for this. This is super awesome. I cannot wait for Godzilla 2. I really enjoyed Godzilla. I love the first act, love the third act, obviously. If anybody did not like the third act of that movie, then you just don't like good action, because that was phenomenal. And the middle of the movie, the second act, you know, is a little boring. I think they could have done a lot more with that and made it a little bit more interesting, but regardless, we're getting a sequel. Hopefully they focus a little bit more on all the monsters in this one, especially since we're going to be overloaded with monsters now. I mean, this is a pretty big ensemble of Godzilla and his villains, so I'm pumped for Godzilla 2. To me, that is the most exciting news to come out of Comic-Con this year. And that's all I gotta say, guys. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about the Godzilla sequel and Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah all being in the movie. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I will catch you all next time.